We are back with another tier list. I just frightened Julia apparently with that. She just jumped. This one we have been asked to do for a long time. We've also been asked to do a quiz on this for a very long time. It is the greatest goalie masks of all time.
Hold me back.
I don't like this.
We've done some really subjective ones. I can't say it's the most subjective because we literally did a tier list on numbers, like favorite player numbers.
We did. That was wild.
Wild.
It's nice.
This is up there though, because it's art, effectively. That's all it is, right? Like, it doesn't matter if a goalie is good or not.
No.
A lot of these guys are legends, and it's part of it. But really, is just, do you like the artwork on this mask, which we're not all going to agree on. We only have 32 on here because we tried to pick, all of us kind of just tossed in a bunch to come up with 32. But that means we're going to have missed a few. I know you're going to be typing away, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Say whatever one you think should have been on this list. That's fine. But hopefully we have done you proud mostly. And we have all the classics and the bangers. But there are some in here I know for a fact. Some of us have like some nostalgia for, and that is why it's on here. So don't fret if yours isn't on the list. It's still gonna be good. So we have 6 tiers, and these are the tiers. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Obviously, at the very top there is the greatest. Only one mask can go into there. Then we have Hall of Fame masks. Then we have All-Star. Then we have bit overrated.
Ooh.
Then purely nostalgia. You're calling someone out saying, I don't think that's as nice as you think it is.
I like that.
And then there's just one, I think, that should go in here. Maybe if some are truly belonging in here. Left the discussion. You don't want to hear it again.
If it's mine, I'm going to be pissed because I will be able to defend it.
Yes, okay.
I have a
I
question.
know which one.
Can I put my own masks in purely nostalgia?
You can do anything you'd like.
Because I feel like half of this list for me was just like sentiments of like, oh, this was an iconic mask. Maybe it's not the nicest, but it just reminds me of being like 6 years old watching the NHL.
We vote on vibes. So each person will be given a mask, and then from there they will nominate it for one of the tiers, and we will vote whether or not to keep it in. We'll have the list at the very end, and then at the very, very, very end, maybe we can switch it up. We are starting off with the very first NHL goalie mask, Jacques Plante. I'm not going to put it in the greatest, because it'd be tempting, be too easy. Can't do it with the first one, but it's not why I'm doing it. I think just flat out, it's terrifying. It's an iconic piece of hockey history, but I'm going to put it in the Hall of Fame because from when it turns to like designs, paint, whatever, that's really when it gets taken to a whole nother level. So I don't think you could put it in the greatest, personally.
There was a time where they were not wearing masks.
Yeah,
I truly just cannot believe it that goalies had the confidence to go in net and stop pucks with their face, and like that was normal.
Personally, this one's kind of a nostalgia one for me.
Wow.
No,
Okay, well, who wants
it's an iconic piece of hockey history.
Yeah.
I have nominated for
okay.
Hall of Fame. Jesse is saying he wants it in purely. That's a second bottom.
You want it in nostalgia. Well, you have the votes. I don't know if you.
No, he doesn't.
I'm not gonna get the
No,
votes.
I'm Hall of Fame.
He ain't got him.
I'm Hall of Fame.
He ain't got him. We're moving on. Thomas, you're up with Carey Price's version of the Jacques Plante mask.
Okay, I want to set the record straight that I'm not responsible for this being in this video. I did not nominate this one. I would put it in the lowest category. I thought it was a cool idea. Also, I would like to say in the game he wore this, the Habs got absolutely destroyed in an outdoor game against the Calgary Flames. So already bad memories for me. I love Carey Price. I say there's 3 or 4 helmets that he's worn in his career that are more iconic than this one.
So
I'll
left
put
the
it in
discussion.
Yeah, it's leaving the discussion.
Luca.
Yeah.
You're going with an Avs legend.
Which one?
I mean, I don't know, maybe I can't say
Which
the.
Avs legend? We got some good masks in our history.
Is he the? Who is the Avs legend? For me, it's him, but Patrick Waugh.
Yeah, he's the Avs.
The?
legend.
Okay.
I would.
Or is it Joe?
I thought it was Peter Budaj.
Well,
He's on
I
this
was
list.
just saying there have been some good Avs masks in throughout the history of Colorado. This one's really cool. I think this one's a Hall of Fame mask. I think at the time this was pretty like cutting edge as well. The Avs were like the cool team on the block that everyone wanted to be a part of as far as cheer for them, get their jerseys because their jerseys were super cool and probably revolutionary for the time. And I think this mask fits along with that. So I'm going to go Hall of Fame.
It's also one of those McDonald's masks,
Yes.
which, again, I think has the heavy nostalgia part. Like, I have no idea who Bill Ranford is. I have never watched Bill Ranford play, but I know that Bruins mask because I had it. Hall of Fame? Anyone voting it out of there?
No, I like it. It's really cool. The mountains, the snow, the font at the bottom, the fact that it matches
Yeah, I like
jersey,
the font.
which is also
Font
like
is
that,
the coolest.
that represents a really
that's a
cool
really good
time
point.
in the Avalanche when they
Such
had that
good
on the
font.
jersey.
Yeah.
So that's another one of the reasons why I like it a lot. The blue
mask
cage
is also
nice.
cool. The blue cage.
That's my question, though. Is this his most iconic mask?
No,
What do you
Which
think?
one's his most iconic
when he played for the
mask?
Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Patrick Waugh is a Montreal Canadian first and a Colorado Avalanche player. second.
I cannot
that
disagree
is-
with that
Ooh,
more.
really?
Yeah, for
Really?
sure.
They
For
don't.
Sure.
No way.
For sure, he's a Canadian.
He's a
first.
Canadian first.
Absolutely.
Kind of
I don't know
torn.
if I agree.
Kind of torn. I like him more.
I think he's
on the
I
Avs,
think he's
but-
an Av.
No,
way.
I
He
can-
won 2 cups
way.
won 2 cups with Colorado.
When he was on Montreal and they won the cup that year, where they won 10 overtime games.
Yeah, and he loved being there so much. He literally just skated off the ice and said, "I see
He
ya."
did love being
Well,
there.
he did
just
like-
hated
he did
it.
love being
Okay,
there.
Yeah.
All good
okay,
things
okay.
come to an end.
I was gonna
All
say, I
good things
think
come to
Yeah, and then better things sometimes start with a new team, like with the Avs.
I think it's like his heritage that makes him a
Sure.
Montreal Canadian. The
He's
fact that he went
the-
back to Quebec after the fact. He coaches there. He was out of there.
Julia, you are up with the Spider-Man mask.
Steven
Ooh.
Valakat, New York Rangers.
How long did he wear this for? I need more context.
Wore it for a while, from as far as I can remember, and like this was one of the more nostalgic ones for me growing up.
Yeah.
I was reading up on it a little bit because I submitted this one, and he said he started doing it like to promote Marvel Comics because I think
They need the help.
yeah, they needed the help, right? But
Sorry, that's
maybe-
an absolutely insane
I know it's a
thing to
weird,
say. What
a
is
weird
that?
one to say. And then like he was at like a summer camp and kids loved the mask and he kept doing it. On the back, it has a big stop sign as well. And
Don't run him over.
I think it might be nostalgic.
Purely nostalgia is what you're saying.
I still think it's nice though, but I just don't know if there's another category that it fits in really great.
It's not one of the greatest.
Would you
One
vote
of
it to
these
bit
are-
overrated then? Would you vote it to bit
No,
overrated?
I don't think it's overrated.
It's overrated. I just think it's
Purely
like,
nostalgia is worse, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Do you think
Done.
purely nostalgia and a bit overrated should be switched?
I guess if you guys think it sounds that harsh, then yeah, we can.
yeah, overrated sounds.
because purely nostalgia is like it's fun,
cool.
but maybe I just like
Okay,
it more.
it
because
is
of the
switched, and we
time.
don't have anything in there, so it's not. Yeah.
Here, here.
Here, here.
Here, here.
Good job,
There you go.
guys.
Good talk, everyone.
Yeah, this is
So-
democracy.
And it is nostalgic, and it's a vibe, and I like it, so it could live there.
You have Darth Vader. Martin Gerber's mask, which if you want a little bit of a backstory, he was wearing just a black eye-tech helmet with the Ottawa Senators. Everyone called him Darth Vader because it was just solid black. So they made a Darth Vader mask, which he actually ended up wearing with the Leafs as well, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool for sure.
This is
I'm
getting
not-
voted down.
Yeah,
Well,
this sounds like
it's,
it's
I'm
nostalgic.
not. Yeah, like
He's
I'm
gonna let it down lately.
I'm not really like a huge Star Wars person. I think the design is cool. It looks nice. I like the silver cage on it too. I think it has to be categorized as the same as the Spider-Man. You know, like it's a nice helmet. It's just like nostalgic.
The next one. This is a legendary mask. This one could fight for the greatest. It really could. Luca thought it was a polar bear. It's not. It is Cujo, Curtis Joseph's mask. It's a dog.
It's a dog.
This mask literally lives in my boyfriend Liam's basement.
He
You guys know
has
that?
Crazy.
one from the Leafs or one from the Red Wings.
All of them sit in just the Leaf stuff because
Okay.
he was. I'm not doxing him because he doesn't live there anymore, but he was Liam's neighbor before he got traded. So he left a bunch of stuff
That's
with Liam's family and just hasn't taken it since.
That
I
is so cool.
If you dig into the archives from like some COVID content, into our archives.
She said chives.
She
for a second.
chives,
I
yeah.
heard ours. I heard chives there.
I was like,
I
is
went
that-
there to buy plants
Chive
yesterday.
cream cheese.
I was like, is that a Thunder Bay
Have
camp?
some herb and garlic and chive cream cheese on my Tim Hortons.
This is
70
just
bagel.
starting to do a shoot off about everyone that opens their mouth
Keep
today.
going here. The art.
Oh, she said our
we're
chives.
going to-
She
did say our
We're letting that
we're going to
slide.
the art
I
chives.
did. I just wanted
I
to
let it
move
slide
on.
When you said it so confidently, I was like, I wonder if she says that all the
But
time.
CH is often Chuck.
Looking with what's to come, I'm gonna stick it in the greatest.
Yeah.
I actually think it's the greatest mask of all time.
I completely agree. Cujo from the early 2000s rocking this mask. When he releases, you're like, oh my goodness, with the chrome silver too.
So
you're,
good.
You're like, what is going on here?
So
This is
good.
That polar bear just looks so menacing.
I thought it was a polar bear too, for the record. But
I
it's
like
a dog.
that it has a
Well,
story.
you know, it's not a record you want to be
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
What blue dog is there in the world?
What blue polar bear is there?
I don't know. That's a good point too.
But that's the
That wasn't
nickname, right?
even hard.
Cujo's like a hellhound?
Did you guys know that polar bears have clear fur?
We
Yes.
do know.
Yeah,
Yes.
craziest.
Yeah.
It's the reflection of the sun or something that makes it look white.
That you can see though.
Yeah.
I love all our learning little moments that we're having today.
It's amazing. Is anyone gonna fight it from the greatest?
Not right now. I think
Not
I
right
need
now?
I need
For now?
another mask to come
Yeah.
up and be like, wow, that one could fight it. But for now, I think it's proper placement.
Jesse, good luck with your eye test.
Yes.
So this one, because you've definitely never seen it before, comes from Jamie Store,
Oh,
who
yeah.
he had a pharaoh on his mask, which I just think again one of the more unique designs. I
Oh,
toss
that's
this one
very
in here.
cool.
That's really
Is
cool.
there a story behind it, see?
I don't know.
You've talked about the dragon mask that he was wearing too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Japanese dragons. It was to honor his late mother, who was Japanese.
Wow.
Yeah, so like really cool meaning behind some of these masks
Okay.
for him as well. Obviously not the biggest name.
Maybe he has the
as far as
Egyptian
goaltenders
lineage.
go, but
Maybe.
And Pharaoh, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, honestly, the design on this is unreal. I think the silver and black really works well, especially with those Kings jerseys. That must have looked great.
That must look wicked.
Aesthetically, this is a very, very pleasing mask. I'll stick it in All-Star because I think it's a great mask.
That's actually that sounds fair.
Yeah,
it's,
we haven't
like a
done one.
B-side track, you know. You got a
Yeah.
favorite band or maybe something you haven't heard of.
Yeah.
It's like here's a track that you have not spun
Yeah.
before. But
It's
yeah.
a good
seems
idea.
fair.
Great
It looks
idea.
so
Great design.
cool.
Yeah, it's badass.
But it's like you said, it's not like a one that everyone really
Iconic.
remembers or brings up.
Thomas, you're up. Ned Flanders,
Ooh.
Peter Budai mask.
It's funny because I didn't nominate this one, but when we were doing research earlier today, I showed this one to Jesse because I always remember when he was the backup in Montreal how he had so much fun with all of his masks.
Yeah.
I love Ned Flanders. Great character. He's like a little zombie over here too, which is interesting. I don't think it's necessarily like so iconic, but I do like to see sometimes a goalie just letting his personality shine.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's just front and center on the top, where a lot of times you'll see like the Habs logo there, is interesting. I know on another one of his masks he had Ned Flanders
It's on the
like,
back. Yeah.
That's the one I probably remember more, but this one's really cool. And you can see like he has different Habs logos on this as well. There's that Maple Leaf CAC one. I'm gonna put it in purely nostalgia. I think it's a nice mask. I think there's a fun story behind it, but I don't necessarily think it is this phenomenal game-changing thing where it's like I look back on this and I'm saying, well, like it's cool. It's cool.
Okay, Ken Dryden's mask goes to Luca. Going old school.
yeah, it's cool.
This guy,
Well,
get ready to rumble.
there's no mouth hole. It's
How do
weird.
You can't breathe.
Can't-
It
yeah.
looks like you
Every
cannot
good-
breathe.
Wait, are there
Every
just
good
se-
mask
are there just
has a mouth hole.
There's just several holes.
There's just
along the
several.
mask.
There
Like,
are
what is
many
that
holes.
protecting? Like a puck is. His forehead is sticking out of that hole, and if it gets hit,
Yeah.
he is
No,
getting
what are you
concussed.
talking about?
Yeah, it looks like he's already
Look
been
at
hit in
it.
the face.
Okay.
The top left hole there.
First off, goalies still like when you get hit in the head with a puck, like it doesn't really do that much for the
No.
concussion side. But
But this one is literally hitting your skin.
it's
man.
1970.
Getting a goose egg. I know.
you're getting a
Aren't we assessing it on how it looks?
We
I
are.
am, and I honestly don't think it's a
killing
cool
it.
design at all. So I'm gonna go overrated.
Oh!
I don't know.
I
I get
like
like
it.
at some point I get the first mask of all time. We gotta put in Hall of Fame because it's the first mask of all time. It paved the way for everything. I don't think this paved the way for anything. I don't think anyone would design a mask like this if they had an opportunity to ever in their life. They
It's
would look
almost
at
like a
this and be like,
target.
"It's like what?"
It's like a target almost. Like it's like hit me in the damn face.
Is that what it is,
hit
too?
me in the face.
It
hit
looks
me
like
in my
is it?
nose.
It's supposed to. I imagine it's
Maybe
supposed
it
to be
is.
what, a Montreal logo kind of. You got the red and the
maybe it is a bullseye though.
like maybe.
When I see this
It's kind of badass.
mask,
It is
it
cool.
reminds me of the picture of Ken Dryden, who's just kind of just like sitting there with his stick and
I know
everything.
exactly
that
the photo you're
like iconic
talking
This is the
about.
most
photo.
nostalgia conversation I've ever heard.
No,
that we're
it
talking
is
about
so
pure
sick.
nostalgia.
Also, this
Sick in the
This
head.
guy's like Endrick, by the way. His
Sick in the head.
you're
Sick.
when I grew up watching Ken Dryden and Lance the Shark,
Yeah, him
here we
and Bobby
go.
Charlton.
Yeah.
I
You
like
were alive for
overrated.
all those cups, eh?
I think. Oh man.
Oh my god.
Okay, not the
It
best,
sounds like it
but,
left
like,
the discussion.
guys, this is an iconic.
No, to the bottom.
Man.
No.
I think it might be so iconic it's become overrated.
This is an iconic mask.
I don't think so.
Where are we putting it, guys?
This sounds.
Where did you
literally-
place it?
I put it in overrated because I
Whoa,
think
that's second bottom.
I think it is a purely like I can maybe put
So-
it pure nostalgia, but it sounds like this is not a good mask.
Ned
Objectively
Flanders on a helmet is better than this? No. That's just not how
I
it
agree
works.
with
Yo,
Thomas.
this
I
is-
think the artwork is way better than this.
This was the design of the mask.
This
compare
is
the
three
art.
colors.
The more I think of it, the more I'm like, I don't know why we love this.
No, it's
It
so
literally
iconic.
looks like a clown's face
Oh
with
my
a
God.
poorly done makeup job.
It looks so. Oh, you guys, this is so disrespectful right
Pure,
now.
purely nostalgic.
Oh,
I love how the more Pog is
Have
trying
fans?
to convince us, the
We'll
more we hate
kill
it.
you.
And it's yeah.
I was like, moments ago, I'm like, Hall of Fame, that makes sense. Now I'm like, it's kind of crap.
It looks like someone took lipstick and just completely missed their lips. Just went all out.
you were on my team 30 seconds ago.
People are gonna shred us.
I go purely nostalgic.
Honestly,
Such a good mask.
I'm purely nostalgia. I can't put it below the Spider-Man and
So unless
Let's go
Pog
nostalgia.
wants
Let's
to
go-
change
let's
his
go-
You're
tune,
nostalgia?
Let's go to
Okay, I'm nostalgia
Yeah,
too.
let's go to
Just
nostalgia.
overrule you guys.
They're
That's
scared.
Should be, there should be,
They're
should be
scared
Hall
of
of
the
the
Fame.
mask for the record, but I also see.
What do you like about it?
A lot
It's
of
just like
stuff.
like
You guys are just scared of
the
the
design.
truth. You're scared of the French part of this country coming
I'm
from
a
the
little- we just-
comments.
My mom,
We just
no,
ripped
my
I'm not
mom's
scared.
my mom's from Montreal. And her brothers are very annoying Canadians fans, and like I'll do away with them. When it comes to hockey, I love you guys, Uncle Derek. But
I thought you were talking about Habs fans. So we're not.
No, I'm kidding, but they're great fans. They're great fans.
All right, now that we're done settling that,
Julia.
Julia, you're up with Ryan Miller.
This one's sick.
I love this one. I want to say nostalgic again because I feel a little nostalgic about Ryan Miller and the Buffalo Slug era.
Oh yes.
But I don't want to. That just feels like kind of like a cop out to put another one in nostalgic.
Yeah, we should start making some decisions here. We don't have a single bit overrated, even though the last one might have belonged.
Hey, we can make it. We can make it.
We can make it happen.
Looking back on it, yeah.
New channels live. Subscribe.
Jesse, you really want to do this one,
Thank you.
so I will let you.
I nominated this one.
It's the one from Seals goalie. What's his name again?
Gary Simmons.
Gary Simmons mask here. Very popular. Looks like a 1970s tattoo from someone on a bike gang has just been slapped onto some piece of fiberglass.
This is one of the wildest masks of all time.
It looks like a sticker almost.
So
It looks like an emoji.
So I think I've actually done something on this helmet. Like I have been the biggest fan of this helmet. This is my favorite goalie helmet of all time, personally. Laugh, go ahead.
He's begging us, please laugh. Laugh.
Roast it.
Such a bizarre helmet, but I love it so much, and it's so badass. I love the snake. It's just like, who is this absolute legend? It could not match less with the seal.
No,
That's
they're
weird.
literally
Like, what
not
is-
that animal.
They are golden seals.
He just said, "Screw it! I'm just gonna stick a massive snake on my helmet," and like for me, Hall of Fame.
It's worse than the Carey Price one that I put in the bottom.
No,
No,
get out of here.
it can't be worse than that.
I'll put in a bit overrated.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
give it
Oi, oi.
I'm not really comfortable
We got
with
three
the
for
bit
overrated.
overrated.
got
Not
three,
even,
though.
not even purely nostalgic.
I did not recommend this one. I think this one is actually a Thomas classic here. The Red Wings version of Dominic Hasek's.
Ooh, this
Helmet.
one's this one's cool as hell.
That being said, it is more intricate than the designs that he had with the Sabres.
Yeah.
The crazy thing that Thomas said, though, before we had it in here was he thinks of Dominic Hasek as a Red Wings player.
I do too.
Instead of where he won 2 Hart trophies and a ton of Veznas. But hey,
I do too, though.
When I got into hockey, Dominic Hasek was a Red Wings goalie. I never really found out he was a Sabre until I got older, and you start to learn about who the greatest players of all time are. So he actually had some really cool ones when he was with the Sens too, and the Sabres.
Yeah.
My whole thing with this helmet was just the style of the helmet in general. That's what I love about Dominic Hasek. I think this should be in Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I agree.
I just think it's
completely.
the style alone is amazing. Growing up, I remember watching that Stanley Cup final against the Penguins. I believe that was Chris Osgood, but I mean Dominic Hasek wore the same style helmet, and I just was like, why are they wearing like a player helmet? It's not quite a player helmet, but it's just so cool.
all right, we'll keep it there. Hall of Fame. Next up is Luca with Felix Potvin.
No, it's really cool. It's a really cool mask. I don't know what the design is exactly or what it's supposed to. Is the cat? Is what it's supposed to be?
I believe so. That's his
cat.
nickname, and
Yeah.
doesn't really look anything like.
It doesn't.
A cat.
I
It looks
mean, like
Venom.
I was gonna say, I always think of like the bottom of the mask is obviously teeth, but then the top, not really cat-like. But it's very cool. It's a very cool mask. I think, especially for the time. I think this is probably a Hall of Fame mask. I think it's in the area between All-Star and Hall of Fame.
I was just gonna say it's All-Star. I think it's cool. I don't think it's like, I think there are nicer masks. That's my whole thing. That's purely subjective.
All-Star feels very appropriate.
It's a little too 2D for me. If we want to get physical
Interesting.
The only thing that bothers me is like I think this is better than Hashik's mask, but you know,
We need one in All-Star here. I'm gonna put it in All-Star for now, and we can discuss it.
balance the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julia, you're up with Guy Hebert's famous Mighty Ducks mask.
Oh, I love this one too. I'm gonna put forward All-Star. How do we feel about that?
I feel good about that.
I think All Star makes most sense.
I like All-Star as well.
All-Star as well. Wow,
That was a good time.
I think that's the first one.
It's a
that
tiny
all
bit of
five-
That was
business.
very
Tidy.
quickly
that was tidy.
diplomatic.
I like this. I like this.
Jim Rutherford.
Okay, don't.
No, Julia, this one is awful.
Don't!
So
What the hell is this?
That legitimately looks like Jigsaw from Saw.
Leave
like, if you
the
combine that one
discussion.
with the first one, I want to play games.
I hate this.
I don't
thing.
remember from the Muppets what those things names are, but the ones with the big eyebrows.
Yeah.
That's that.
It's good.
If Jigsaw was a Muppet, this is what he would look like.
And Jim
Okay.
Rutherford's eyes look weird as hell in
I
this
don't
too.
like this.
I don't like it at all.
Apparently, it was the first game he was playing with the Red Wings, and it was the equipment manager that painted this on like before the game, and then he didn't like it when he went out there.
Neither do we, Jim.
I don't blame him.
And
It looks
then
like
he-
his eyes are bleeding.
And then
I bet if you did measurements, they are not symmetrical
no,
in any way.
like
They
I said,
are-
it was just painted on my. But then he
That's
liked
pretty
it.
good for
Great.
that.
I was gonna say great
It's not
paint
bad.
job.
Yeah.
Versus just before a game.
He had you could
You
tell
had a
they're not
spare
symmetrical
15
on both
minutes
sides.
after taping
Yeah.
all the sticks.
Yeah.
But he had a great game, so then it just remained being his mask. The thing I find
We don't
funny-
have to do that though. 'Cause
Yeah.
we didn't have a good.
I
game
just
with it.
needed this brought to the table.
I'd go leave the discussion.
I'm okay with leaving the discussion too.
Let's leave it
Not
where it
if I go
is, and then at the end we
Okay.
can
Okay.
renegotiate.
Paul is
if
like
we
just
want.
growling, don't. It's not leaving the conversation.
Because I think the one that we haven't leave the discussion is very appropriate right now.
Well, the
That
next-
creepy ass mask.
The next
Okay.
one should be interesting because it's our last of the. No, actually, sorry. It's the second last mask from the 70s, 80s era.
Yeah.
60s. I think it's the 70s, actually. It's the cat mask for Jesse Pollock.
You know what? Like like the mouth area is so cool. I don't know how he breathed. Breathed? No, breathed.
I could tell you were having a battle there.
Yeah.
With what to say. I could tell
you
you.
were
Am I
thinking
saying
about
this
that.
right?
He's got some.
I don't know how he
breathe out
could
of.
breathe.
How he breathed?
How was
That-
he breathing?
That was a bad moment. That was a bad moment.
That was more wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think what's kind of cool is like I'm guessing there's a lion, obviously, right? Like they've got those things on the nose,
I
and
think
like
it's Basil's
those are the
guy,
nose holes
Yeah.
to breathe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Are those the holes to breathe?
Yeah.
I was
those are
wondering.
those
I
holes
was,
to
I was
breathe.
wondering how he was breathing. Yeah,
I
that
think it
changes
looks-
everything.
It kind of looks pretty cool. Like it's incorporated in the design nicely.
I'm gonna go Hall of Fame. Get it in the Hall.
Okay, he is placed in Hall of Fame.
I don't
Where do we
think so.
vote it out to? Where do
I
we
don't
go?
really want to argue with that.
I was gonna go.
Okay, I mean, you guys agree.
I was gonna go All Star.
I think All Star is
All
more
Star is probably
appropriate,
more appropriate. Yeah.
but it is cool.
I would have put it in purely nostalgia, I think.
You know what?
Ooh, interesting.
I would stick it in purely nostalgia, just because like
Just vouch for Hall of Fame.
because I feel it's like
It's all over the place.
It's either in the Hall of Fame or it's purely nostalgia. I feel like there's no real in between for me. It's
Well,
like
the in between
But
would be
they're
All-Star.
but they're literally
There's an
quite.
in-between.
They're
but the,
literally
but the,
is.
but the in
it is All Star.
but the in between like it just doesn't feel right for it to be All Star.
He's like taking
It's like
less.
it's in the Hall of Fame because it is nostalgia, but if it's not cool enough as a nostalgic helmet, then it's just purely nostalgia.
Okay, we're moving on. Nitamaki's mask. It's got Al Capone's what was it, right hand person? I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
enforcer.
His enforcer, who had the nickname Nitty.
Yep.
So he's got a Tommy gun and he's firing off some shells.
I like all the ones with a story like this. Just look at the team logo. I think the colors are cool. I think this is probably in the All-Star / nostalgia range.
I was gonna say like I almost am tempted to put this one in a bit overrated.
I want an All Star. I think it's really.
I think it's a little bit overrated.
Anyone for All Star?
I don't think
They're
it's
out on
good
it.
enough.
Well, when we move on, Luca
Yeah.
Nabokov.
What is
Z,
this?
do you know the story behind the skeletons on his mask?
I don't. File
But-
this under skeletons are cool.
File this under skeletons are
Yes,
cool.
good.
It's very cool. I definitely love the mask, and when you think of Nabokov, this is what you think of. I really like the shark, honestly. Like, that little detail is really cool. I'd put this in All-Star.
Anyone?
I like that because I feel like he wore this for like a while. And growing up, Nabokov was one of my favorite goalies, strictly due to the fact that I thought he looked really cool in the Sharks uniform and the cool colors and
Is he
the
20
skull
is his number as well?
Yeah,
No,
yep,
20.
20, yeah,
Him
20,
and Belfour. There's not a lot of people who wear 20.
Mm-hmm.
That looks cool for a guy.
And I guess Happy Boolin was 35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Julia, you are up with an iconic goalie. Arguably, some people would certainly make the case, the greatest goalie of all time, Martin Brodeur. It's going to be real hard to separate the goalie from the art here. Maybe you don't have to.
No, I don't think you have to. And this is such an iconic mask. Like, is it Hall of Fame?
Is it? I think that's a safe bet.
Is it better than Hall of Fame is the question that I'm
Probably.
asking.
It's not to me.
Are we bumping out Cujo?
No.
for this
Not
one?
to
No. I think this is like the perfect Hall of Fame candidate.
These ones I feel like should be a pair here. You guys fine if I do the next one as a
Yep.
pair? We're going to leave Brodeur in Hall of Fame for now. Mike Richter and Henrik Lundqvist. I like the Mike Richter one far more than I like the Lundqvist one.
Easy.
To me,
Easy. I
Lundqvist
agree
is
with that.
clearly the more iconic goalie, and he's like, when I think Rangers, I think him. But when I think Rangers masks,
McDonald's mask.
not even just that, like the original is the better one. It just it's just flush right in the center of the mask.
Yeah.
It's the better of the two.
Colors are better,
That's
too.
Hall of Fame, and I think the Lundqvist one. I think that's purely nostalgia. I don't even think that's that great of a
Too much
mask.
going on
agree.
there.
I think we're just maybe tying it more to Lundqvist.
Lundqvist.
Yeah.
His career with
He's
the,
incredible.
the
That's
Rangers.
fair.
And
I
he's
agree
so
with that.
handsome.
I agree.
He is so handsome.
He is
my,
so handsome.
my mom had a huge crush on
Randy, we
Henry
all do.
Lundqvist.
Purely nostalgia for Lundqvist. That's where I'm putting it. And Mike Richter, Hall of Fame. Does anyone have anything against that?
No.
No, that's a good call.
Jocelyn Thibault's.
Oh my god, I wish I could break this one down. What the hell is this?
I'll show it to you.
You know what? Honestly, if it's okay, I'm gonna let our good friend.
Yeah,
Thomas
he'll do this
Kokenek,
objectively.
do this one.
This is worse than the Carey Price one, I think.
What?
I would move it to the bottom.
Worse than the.
No, you think?
Or it's on the same level.
this?
I just don't
I
like
don't
it.
get it.
Jesse,
Like,
you
is
gave
it supposed
your
to be an
vote.
old school
I just
goalie
don't
mask?
think it looks good.
No, I don't either.
I'm gonna put it in left of discussion.
Yep.
I'm up.
David Abisher's Yeti mask.
Eddie.
Another Habs legend.
God, Utah's got to rip this off.
Just use that as your logo and your mascot.
Does it say Abby in the bottom?
Yeah, it does. Pretty cool.
Like Yeti.
Honestly, I just think that this is like a nice, classic, not too complicated helmet that works. It really fits with the Avalanche brand. I think I'd stick it in All-Star.
All right, moving on. This one's a big one. This one is going to Luca, Patrick Laleem's
Hall of Fame.
Marvin the Martian.
Hall of Fame immediately. This one is one of the coolest masks you will ever see. I also
So
think it's
late.
one of the first ones too where like you're talking about just we see like the Spider-Man and like those kinds of maybe cartoon characters that people are putting on their masks to show their
Pop
interest
culture
and things like
references,
that.
yeah, yeah.
I think this is one of the first ones that we've talked about here that's higher than All-Star.
And it actually
This is Hall of Fame, and it works in this style of it as opposed to some of the other ones.
I think it's the gold that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting, because
Yeah.
without it, we might have hit this with a purely nostalgia.
It
Yeah,
works with the
potentially.
Senators logo and branding too.
That's what makes it
what
so-
makes it
yeah.
cool to
Makes
me.
it work
It's
so
a full
well.
setup. Everyone's safe with that one, right?
Yes.
Let's roll.
Kelly Rudy, for you, Julia, with the Hollywood mask.
Oh, I like this
Talk
one.
about blue
So
eyes.
cool.
Yeah, this one's sick.
It's very nice.
I feel tempted to go to All-Star or Hall of Fame kind of right away with this one. I love that it's representative of where he played. The colors tie in nice. This one LA was doing the black and gray thing too. I think All-Star is comfortable for this one. And there's lots of stars on it.
I would have supported
Film
you Hall
reels.
of Fame.
Yeah.
Film reels are nice. I support All Star personally.
Interesting.
I think I like this one in All Star.
Johan Hedberg, the Moose.
Uh,
And we have picked when he was on the Penguins, of course, when he gets the call up, still wearing that Manitoba Moose mask. That's a Hall of Fame mask.
That's my guy
That's a
right
Hall
there.
of Fame mask.
You guys remember what happened when he was playing for the Moose and all the Moose fans were wearing the antlers,
Yeah.
right? And then the Penguins started wearing the Moose antlers, and everyone's just like, why are they doing that? And from being from Manitoba, we were so pumped.
It's true, because the Jets wouldn't have been right. So
Oh, man.
you gotta
We
cheer.
love hockey in Winnipeg, and like the Manitoba Moose also You want to talk about one of the most iconic jerseys of all time.
they're
The original
great
Manitoba
jerseys.
Moose jersey is one of
Unreal.
the best ever.
Very
One of the best ever.
Hall of Fame? Anyone?
Fame.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's
no,
really
that's
cool.
fair.
It's just so classic.
Cool mask.
All right, Jesse, you are up with Brian Hayward's famous Sharks mask. Probably just as famous to some people as the actual Sharks uniform.
You know what? Like,
That's sick.
it's such a sick helmet.
The way he left it all black has the same thing going on as Rudy's.
Same shape.
Yeah.
Well, no. The eyes are actually, like, it actually has, like, the goalie, like, the bigger holes.
The shape
Yeah.
works
Eyes.
for it, though.
It works for it. And you know what? I don't know. Maybe white would have been kind of cool as a cage, but, like, I think the black still definitely works because the black's subtle and it brings the teeth out a little more.
It's like black
And
falling
the
into his
blood.
mouth.
Oh, yeah.
That's sick, guys.
It's on the front.
It's
Front.
one of the.
Oh, yeah, dripping from the teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is the
This
first one I've actually felt could challenge for the best.
Yeah,
I think so,
yeah.
too.
It's just,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? This one is also in the Hall of Fame. Like, this one, I'm
there,
positive is
yeah.
there. And, because I still think Cujo's is number one, I'm going to stick this Hall of Fame, and, like, I feel very comfortable doing it.
That's Hall of Fame, yeah. Ray Emery, he's up next, and that one is for Thomas. It's a boxing helmet, and of course, the legendary Ray Emery, known for his fighting. Rest in peace, Ray Emery. But yeah, he's got the gold cage too, Thomas. Where are you putting it?
I just think there's something about, one, the helmet being the base color is white.
Sick.
And I think that pops so nicely, whether you're wearing dark jerseys, whether it's the white jerseys, it's so nice. And then you have the gold cage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's just been such a flurry of Hall of Fame nominations recently with our last couple helmets. But I think this is so cool. The font, the graffiti style, the boxer, the cage, the color, the subtle red design in the background, like everything about this to me is just so nice.
Yeah.
So
And I don't even think this is like a
It's really
nostalgia
well
pick
done.
No,
to
I
me,
don't think
where
so either.
you look at that and it's like, oh, remember that one back in the day? Because I just think when you look at it,
It's
it
good.
would be nice today if Goldie was wearing.
100%.
Well,
It's just
100%.
It looks so new. Like, the detail
incredible.
on it is so, like,
Yeah.
modern.
Another
It's great.
case where the gold cage is
Pops.
carrying.
Brings it together.
I think
Yeah.
this should be Hall of Fame.
I agree.
I don't think it
Yeah.
has enough power to rival for the best, but it's just a really nice mask.
Okay, coming up next, it's Luca with Ben Bishop's Tron mask.
Sick.
It's below All Star for me. Like, I get it. It's cool. The glow in the dark
You don't
thing.
like. I was gonna say.
we don't
you're
play
not gonna
hockey in
talk
the.
about
We don't
features?
play hockey in the dark.
You never had
Sorry.
lights float at
But
your
it's the
hockey game?
lightning.
Yeah, but we don't play hockey in the dark.
So I'm out on the whole neon phase that I feel the NHL went through. Like the Dallas Stars jerseys were just like
That was like
nah.
a year ago,
wild.
wasn't it?
it's,
Yeah.
well, they
This
still
isn't
wear
exactly
them.
comparable.
Look,
to...
No, the reason why this works for me is because
This
it's
works.
the lightning.
Yeah.
Guys,
But also,
you never
it's not-
actually see it work.
It's true. It's, unless you're like a roller
But
hockey dirt, like
to me,
you
it's
know,
not that
it's
cool.
not.
During the
There's better
national
masks.
anthems.
Like
This is
As they're skating out on the ice.
When it's important.
this is overrated.
we have 3 left. Let's
Three
make
left. Let's roll.
I
Folks.
hate my snake mask so much. I have your goalie's back. Like, I'm being nice. I'm trying to get this guy up.
it's your
Trying to get
opinion.
you out of the gutter.
It doesn't mean that I have to back you up just because you share the same opinion as me.
Objective.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
pretty.
I'll-
That's
I'll-
pretty.
I'll remember this.
Is that?
I hope you would.
I remember this.
This is
I remember
diplomacy.
this. It's not terrible. The snake mask
blows.
is cool. It's like one of a kind.
Up next, Tuukka Rask.
Drywall with good
It's one.
3-year-old paint on it.
It's one of a kind for a reason. Someone
you
saw
hate
it and
this
said,
one,
"Don't do
Bob.
that twice."
I love this one actually.
I thought you
Yeah,
hated
no,
this one.
No,
Cannot.
to me this is what the Cujo mask is for you guys. This is it for me
Tuukka Rask.
because I didn't grow up with the Cujo mask. I grew up with this mask.
The teeth mask doesn't usually do it for me just because it's done a lot, except for Cujo because he is the teeth mask guy.
Okay.
And I guess that San Jose Sharks one that I just said was really good
But you're
as well.
comparing
Different
everything to it now.
Yeah, I'm in like all-star range, I think, and maybe like a tick lower than that.
She's placing it in All Star.
I'll go with
Folks.
you for All Star.
I'm not
put
gonna
it in the
object
hall.
because the Cujo one came first and they're very similar, and I just think because of that this loses a little bit of its greatness.
Okay, we only have 2 masks left. A lot of people outside of this room, they would probably consider this the greatest mask in NHL and hockey history. It's the Cheevers mask.
Allmark did this year, eh?
Yep, he did the better version of what Carey Price
Yeah,
did. where it
Allmark's
didn't look
was
as
actually
creepy.
cool. Like,
it
it-
actually look cool. I'm gonna put it in Hall of Fame personally.
Yeah.
I think this kind of goes back to what we're saying. We're like, kudos to the history of it all as far as,
It's a pretty sick design for that.
Yeah,
era,
yeah,
too.
it is
Like,
very
it's
really
edgy.
creative.
Yeah.
It's an iconic
very
design.
creative.
Yeah.
It is cool, but I don't feel it's the greatest. Just
No.
because it's again, it probably is a nostalgia thing. It just is.
Dude, someone literally just wrote a bunch of tallies onto a piece of drywall.
we spent like a full minute trying to be respectful. Jesse's like, spit it out. It's crap. So no one's gonna vote this into the greatest, or we're down.
No, it's a
not
Hall of
Cujo's
Fame
mask.
mask.
and not down from Hall of Fame.
No, that's a Hall of Fame mask.
Okay. Well, very last mask, Jesse. For this one, it could be his Blackhawks one. It could be the Stars one. It could be his Leafs one.
His Stars one, I think, is the most iconic.
It depends what generation.
Yeah,
You're,
no,
I
that's fair.
think
That's
the
fair.
gold
That's a
one to me
generation
looks the
thing.
coolest, but we'll say that.
To me, this might be my biggest rival to Cujo for number one.
That's fair.
This is such an iconic helmet. I also just love Eagles. And Eddie the Eagle is one of the coolest nicknames in the history of the game. It's also from Carmen, Manitoba. Not a big deal. There is just something about this helmet that screams this is the 90s. This is the 2000s, like early 2000s. This is it. Definitely putting this in Hall of Fame.
The one thing, and it's a feature that we've put a bunch of masks into Hall of Fame for, it's the whole mask that matters here. And the silver in Cujo's mask just matches the whole setup to me like perfectly. Where Eddie's white part there, it's all right. It's kind of flat.
Do you wish it was gold?
If it was gold, maybe it would have been too much. I don't know. But either way, maybe it would have been imbalanced. But the silver with the Cujo mask to me just makes the whole thing look just a bit cooler for me.
I completely agree.
Just a bit.
I still I actually think that the white is the right move for this mask.
It could be still, yeah.
But I agree that the silver on Cujo's is cooler. I would go Belfour though, Hall of Fame. If anyone has any arguments, you can let me know. But I just think Eddie the Eagle, it's just it's just a great mask.
Yeah.
I think Cujo's definitely above it.
There's a couple of these I think that might be in the wrong spot. If you have a nomination, go for it. You don't have to have one. I'm just going to start with one, and this hurts to say. Again, love the Sabres. Love Dominic Hasek. But I think that one should be an all-star, personally. I don't think it belongs there with, the top masks of all time. We're not talking goalies. We're just talking masks. That one's the one that sticks out to me as, nah.
I get it from the
one level
design element of it. To me, it's just the shape is just so iconic.
It's so iconic.
But
It's so ugly.
It is sick.
For sure. I would be fine with the movie.
I'd be fine with that.
Get Jim Rutherford in the left of the discussion.
Leave
please.
Jimmy
That
alone.
thing is the ugliest thing I have ever seen in my life.
Jim, I want justice for you.
Justice for Jim.
Justice for Jim.
Jim.
It's a beautiful mask.
If I speak, I'm in trouble.
Speak.
Just
Speak.
saying.
You're not.
Come on, Puck. Just
Go
read
ahead.
it.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I think Ken Dryden should be moved up at least one category.
Where?
I agree.
Purely nostalgic.
No one is nostalgic
Because
about
when
that.
I'm looking back at that
nostalgic about
mask,
it.
it's
How
like
could you be nostalgic?
It's
about
really
it?
nice.
Just be
It's cool.
nostalgic about
It's
it.
cool. It's a cool mask.
I agree. It's
Guys,
kind
I'm going to be honest with you. I had not seen that mask before today.
Can we agree at least it's a lot better than the one that Jesse really likes?
Yes.
It's a lot.
Couldn't you just see
No,
someone
I
going out?
disagree with that.
Imagine going out on College Street or Ossington with that mask on and a leather jacket. You'd be
I
the
would
coolest
run.
person
Why
in
would you-
Toronto.
I would
You'd
run.
be the
Why
coolest
would you
person
do
in
that?
Toronto.
That is
someone
not
leather.
the case to make here.
Leather
That
with a
person-
cigarette in your mouth. Through the whole of the mask. You can't
We're
even
playing
breathe.
hockey
what
here.
is this weird old Halloween costume you never got to wear as a kid coming into now?
I would put Lundqvist down to a bit overrated.
Am I crazy?
No,
it's
I
like a
think
nice
Lundqvist
mask.
I wanted
That's
to
nice.
call
That's cool.
Lundqvist a bit overrated the whole time, honestly.
Anyone? Is anyone for that one? That's a
Fine with
vote.
that?
The what?
As a
okay with
mask,
that. As a
not
mask.
as a goalie.
No, as a goalie.
Definitely
you
Not
said
not
as
as a beard.
mask.
Yeah.
I'm taking the
The
Statue
mask
of
had
Liberty
too
on
much
it,
going
okay?
on it.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
kind of bastardized a beautiful original.
Yeah, it's
Didn't
not.
need to be done.
It's just not as good as the OG. I think.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I would have moved Flanders up to All-Star personally, but if you guys want to keep it in purely nostalgia, that's fine. I just think it's out of all those masks where they tried to do those cartoons, I think the
it's cool,
Flanders
too.
one is really cool.
I agree.
And I love The Simpsons.
I like that we can come in here and yell about masks.
It's
Yeah,
what we
it is
have.
fun.
Yeah.
This
The
is-
best part is none of us are right.
Or wrong. Or are we?
I think everyone in the comments is going to say we're wrong.
You guys will decide, but you'll also decide maybe what the next tier list we'll do is. Let us know in the comments which one you'd like us to do. On top of all of that, of course, subscribe to the channel. It's the New Bar Down channel. We'll be doing a lot more of these kinds of things on top of all the other things that we'll be doing during the year. And of course, yes, like the video, even if you hate Thomas's rant about Ken Dryden's mask, even though I loved it.